Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome to the show, where we interview the nation's leading real estate entrepreneurs. It's your host, Stephen Schmidt, and I'm back at it like a bad habit, and I got a treat for you guys today. I got Dionne Randle in the house. She has been in the real estate space for over 23 years, and she's a broker in the great state of Texas. And she is the powerhouse behind Mod Realty, and we're going to get into a great conversation today and go all over the place. We're going to talk maybe a little bit about how you can flip some land. We're going to talk about the real estate market and her experience and the unique lens that she brings to the table, and we're excited to have her in the studio today. So just remember, before we get started at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses so they can build the businesses they've always wanted in order to live the lives they've always dreamed of. That being said, Dionne, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
I appreciate it.
Always grateful to have a fellow Texan on the show. You're a little south of us here from Dallas, where we're headquartered, but grateful to have you on. So let me ask you a question here to just kick us off. You got started 23 some odd years ago. What got you in the real estate business in the first place, and how'd you get to where you're at today?
So, what got me into it? I was working at a CPA firm, a private company, and I was the administrative assistant for a developer. And he also, real estate, even though being a CPA was his degree, but he had a love for real estate. And so I would help him on those projects. And so I would look at just how much money he made. I looked at how well his properties were flipped. I looked at the new construction he was building. I just had an interest in it. And I was like, I want to do this. And so I didn't quite have the funds, so I decided to get my real estate license instead. And so that got me into it.
Wow. Now, and tell us a little bit about the evolution of you getting started to where you're at today.
Okay. So I eventually left him, went to another company, and then I just kept thinking about real estate. So I went ahead, went to school, got my license, and my start was with a large company, Remax, and I worked there for 20 years until 3 years ago I decided to open up my own brokerage.
That's awesome. So what made you decide to open up your own brokerage and take on all the responsibility at that point?
It's a crazy idea, right?
For
all
sure.
The responsibility, but
and brokers don't always, I think, a huge misconception there doesn't necessarily mean it's always more money that you make either.
Oh, absolutely not. I think I made more money as an agent, but it was my desire to help agents out, give them a great product, give them something they haven't had, because we are awesome over here, give them something they haven't had for not trying to take all their commission for a reduced price.
Where does that drive to help other people come from?
I don't know. It's just in me. It's I think when I bought my first house, it was when I was 25 years old, And I had terrible agent. I had an agent that did not care.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Didn't come to closing. We didn't get inspections. We didn't do anything. And I think I didn't like how I was treated. So I felt a need to make certain that anybody I would help, I would take care of. And I wanted anybody, any agent that I came in connection with, to show them how you take good care of a client so you can get repeat business.
So you had a horrible first experience with an agent. How did that pan out?
Oh gosh. So I was so young. So, I think when you're touring a house, you rely on somebody, or you're touring any type of property, commercial property. You rely on the expert to point out different things about the property that is not fitting to what your criteria is. And I think because I was so young and my husband and I were both young, that we looked at the property for the other people's furniture. We looked at everything, was like, oh, this is so nice. And then when we got there, the house was not clean. There was issues with the house. It was just a nightmare. And so when I decided to become a real estate agent, I wanted to make sure that I gave great service to anyone that I came in connection with.
What was the biggest risk you took early on?
Leaving my job. I've worked as an agent part-time for 2 years, and I stepped out on faith without having a real strong database, and I made it work. And so I've been at this for over 21 years, full-time.
Wow. So what separates you from the people that get in it and they fail?
I don't look at it as, you said the people that get in and fail?
Yeah, the people that get in it and they fail. They fall on their face in 12 months. They start with no database. They realize they got to make money to still eat and put gas in their car and all that.
I wanted this life. I love real estate. I absolutely love every aspect of it, and I wanted it. So I made sure that whatever changes that were going on in the market, I kept intact with them, and I made changes. I pivoted throughout my career. I've taken on new challenges. I had one challenge where we were selling commercial land, and I had 67 sellers. Nobody else would take that deal. And where people wouldn't, the deal was the $30,000 deal. And they came to me and asked me, would I take it? And I was like, yeah, I like a challenge. So I took it, and we closed that deal in 4 months. But what people didn't realize is that not only did I only make $1,000 in there, I gained 67 new clients. And then from there, I've sold $1 million properties for them. For that family alone, I've had about 12 transactions off of that $30,000 deal. So I don't think people see past, they're boxy. They don't see past the potential in situations.
Sure. Who was your first mentor early on in the game? What'd you learn from them?
His name is Robert Malone. He's still my mentor now. I've had other mentors, but more on the commercial side, more on the investor side was Robert. But I've done Brian Buffini, I've done Tom Ferry, Burl Workman. I've done all of those guys. But as far as a strong mentor has been, his name is Robert Malone. Probably can't Google him, but he is a millionaire in this area, and he owns right now, he's at a standstill. He doesn't develop anymore. He doesn't build houses anymore. He doesn't do anything but run his properties that he owns in a very affluent area in the Houston area.
And so what's the biggest thing that you've learned from Robert and working with him over the years?
I learned patience. waiting for the right opportunity and pivoting and investing. Not only do I teach my clients how to invest, I'm also an investor myself. So it is waiting for the right opportunity or pivoting of whatever is the right opportunity right now.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Tell us a little bit about what you invest in.
I invest in land. I have multi-units, land. I do a little bit of flipping ever so often, and I've also built homes. Building is probably my least favorite attraction. I'm more of I'll buy land in areas that are right next to the potential where the growth is, and then I sit and wait for the growth to get there, and then I sell and flip the land.
What do you like about land versus single family houses or multifamily? What is it about land that you like?
I like multifamily. I like stuff that's already built. It's just that the laws in Houston, I mean, not really the laws, to get in permitting in the Houston area, it's a lot of red tape now after COVID. And so I was successful. I built houses pre-COVID. And so the processes were not as difficult as they are now. So everything is online and whatever. But I still have investors that build, but I like land a lot because it's not a lot of things that go with it. And I look at some of the land I've purchased, I'm making the same profit that I'm making on if I was to build on it. So to me, less problems, less stress, selling land, and you're done with it.
Now, do you buy the land and hold it long term, or what's your specific strategy?
I will hold it long term. For me, the taxes are higher, but I hold it until it makes sense. Some land I have developed, like I put a multi-unit on something at one point, but I will develop. It just depends on what's right for right now.
So what are you really focused on in the next 12 to 18 months, let's say?
For myself or for clients or just development for myself?
For yourself. This is all about you and your business.
Okay. So right now we're just sitting on land. We're running a brokerage. So that's the most important thing right now for me. But as far as investment, if something comes along, if something comes in our lap, my husband and I were business partners, and then we'll do it. We don't just go head hunting for everything. Deals have to make sense. And what I tend to do is I have a list of investors that I work with. I give them the deals before I take them. And if they don't want it, then I'll jump on it.
Really? That's interesting, because a lot of times I would think that if your investors are passing on a deal, maybe it's because it's not in their buy box. I could understand that aspect, but I would think that would maybe make me a little more leery if I was an agent or a broker.
I'm doing the comps. I know what makes sense. Sometimes they just don't feel like they want it. And so I feel like I'm an agent first before I'm an investor. And so I feel due diligence. If I sign an agreement with my clients, I give it to them. If they don't want it, I buy it. Or if the timing is not right for them and they pass on it, then I'll take advantage of it.
Do you think that gives you almost an unfair advantage even?
No, not really, because our interests are different. I don't really have investors that are looking for land to flip. They're looking more for either a property to flip or a multi-unit to purchase, things like that. So where I have multi-units that I own, so they've passed up on certain properties that I thought were great, and they're working out to my advantage.
What makes a deal an instant no for you?
The price. I don't turn down anything. It could be in the worst area, but if the numbers make sense, I buy it. If the numbers don't make sense, I don't buy it. So I'm a numbers person. I'm not the one that says, oh, I have to have A properties and B properties. I take the properties that the numbers make sense. I will occupy a multi-unit in a not so great area, and then I'll get top rents on it, and then I'll flip it.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
If I didn't want it.
Right. But ultimately, you're looking at, does it make sense from a mathematical, financial standpoint, and then your time frame for exit potentially.
Yes, I always have an exit strategy on everything that I do.
Really? So
Yeah.
so for what you invest in specifically too, is your plan to not necessarily buy and hold quite a bit? You always are going to have an exit
N-
for it?
No, I buy and hold. But on certain properties, you got to have an exit plan. But I also look at that on everything I do. Seriously, even though if I decide I want to hold. So like, let's say we bought this fourplex in a not so pleasant area where they were just getting Section 8 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it for a great price. We had to put a lot of money into it to make it how I like to have properties and to make our money back. So for a short term, for a year and a half, we did Airbnb on it. And so I got all of my money back out of it that I had to put into it to upgrade. Then we put it on the market for lease. And we're getting top dollar for it in an area where was not a top dollar area.
No kidding. How did you what's the secret to pulling something like that off? What are some of the unique things you did to pull that off?
Having a good agent. Having someone like I have great testimonies from all my clients, and because I really take the time to do the research to say, hey, this will make sense, and I give them this is what happens if we don't, if it doesn't go right. This is what happens if it does go right, and so I give them the ultimate decision. And sometimes they're scared about certain things that I'm willing to take a risk on, and they pass up on it. But yeah, that was one of the better decisions. Have I ever personally made a bad choice? Yeah, but it didn't cost me a lot of money. I'm pretty really really good on my comps. I'm pretty good on the numbers to make sense for me and my clients.
Mm. Now you also were leading a team of people. What's your secret to building long-term relationships in the business?
You're talking about the agents in my brokerage?
In general?
Yeah.
I mean, real estate is it's a solo sport, but it's a team sport at the same time. You got
So
to have good relationships all over. So just in
yes.
general, what's your unique
So
edge of
I
building relationships?
I give good business. I tell people you never heard anybody say, "Oh, let me refer you to this person. They're terrible." You've never heard that. And so most of my clients, they like one person, I've done 100 homes with them. Another person, I've done 50 homes with them. Another person, and if we're just talking on a smaller scale, just personal, I've done 6 transactions with somebody and they referred me to 10 people. It's doing good business. I am good. Sometimes, some of my transactions, I get frustrated or it's a lot of work, but I'd still do it because I feel like I owe it to people to give them good business. And I don't know if I would have been the same way if I didn't have such a horrible experience my first go around. But
Mm.
I give good business 100% all the time,
Yeah.
even
Which I
even
think
with my agents in the office.
which I think is ultimately like the great separator nowadays, right?
Say that one more time.
It's the great separator
Yeah, that's
nowadays,
it. It is the great
right?
separator. Like,
It's
yeah,
really not hard to win
no,
anymore.
no, I don't feel like it's hard for me to win on deals. And so, um, the thing that I even teach my agents, I give them the nitty gritty. We do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I make time for people. I don't even know how I keep the things in my schedule that I have, but I do. But I don't turn down business. I don't turn down my agents when they have questions. We do have a trainer, but sometimes it goes beyond the scope of the actual trainer and they need my help or assistance on something. But I just feel like if you feed your agents and you give your agents valuable information, you help them build their you help them build their clientele, and just giving free information to everybody, then you won't have a problem in this business. I don't burn bridges either. Even if
Why
somebody's
not?
passed me up or passed me by, I don't burn bridges. I still give them free information.
Why is that?
Think about it like this. Because when that other agent or that other broker does something that's not right, and you've picked up the phone as an agent, you called me and you asked me for some advice, but you couldn't get that same advice from your broker, but you got it from me. Where are you going to more likely want to come back to? You don't want to come to me. If you give that free information to a client that is not using you, and when their deal goes south or something happens, then they'll come back to you. Even after they close their transaction, they'll come back to you to sell their property. It's happened to me already.
Right. It's the law of reciprocity at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Dionne, where can people connect with you, learn more about what you're working on, and go to just find out more about you?
I have a social media page. You can also hit us up on our website. My social media page is Dionne, Dionne, the broker, THE broker. And also our website is www.modrealtytx.com. modrealtytx.com. And we're in the Houston area.
There you go, folks. Go connect with her for more. If you're in the Houston area, look her up. And for all of you listening, the Real Estate Pros and Investor Fuel community, go show her some love. We're appreciative of her coming in and sharing some
And we're in the
insights with us
Houston
today.
metropolitan area.
There you go, folks. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining in and listening. Thanks again, Dionne, for being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.